report. I'm 40 minutes late. We've changed gates twice now and trying to work out when we're going to get on a plane. Running a pretty tight schedule doesn't help when something's going to have to give. You're trying to maximise your day when you go looking for properties, and the reality is now I've got to push something out or drop one of the investigations I do, but that's the way it goes. It's the joy of a property investor. Hey guys, here in the afternoon, this afternoon we're negotiating a property deal on an apartment complex in West End. West End's a really up and coming area, really trendy area, lots of cultural cafes, diverse mix of culture through there. So the apartment deal, I think we're going to get screwed out on it, to be honest. The negotiations have probably turned a little bit sour, so we're trying to revitalise things. I think it's 7 stories, 88 apartments. I won't be keeping any of them. I don't find apartments to be suitable in my portfolio. But yeah, if we get the deal across the line, we'll build it and we'll sell it. So we'll let you know how we go. It's probably going to take 3 or 4 days negotiation, but just so you're aware, property negotiations don't generally happen in real estate agents' offices. Where they happen is cafes, pubs, restaurants, places like that. So yeah, wish me luck. Hey, back at the hotel now, guys. We've had a pretty eventful day so far. We've managed to negotiate, which we got a bit of an insight from one of the financiers that the vendor of the apartment development we were looking at said the other party who were negotiating couldn't get finance, so it put us in a fairly strong position for negotiations. So the negotiations happened a lot faster than we thought. What this means is we've been able to have a contract ready to go. We actually signed off on it today, so it was a ripper day, to be honest. We've got a 21-day due diligence on the apartment block, which is not ideal. It's fairly short. Prefer 90 days, 60 days, 21 days we'll be pushing it, but we'll mobilise the team and I'm sure they can get the due diligence done and the feasibility firmed up. So that was a good outcome. Our counterparts in Brisbane had some really good contacts which served us well there. What I need to do now is look at a couple other developments for my own personal investing, house land. I'm going to look in the Northern Corridor. I met with the developer this afternoon who has got a couple of boutique estates in the Northern Corridor of Brisbane, so I'm going to have a look at that. And also got to catch up with Australian Property Investor magazine, so we'll give you a bit of insight on how that goes. But it's a lonely life of the property investor. I miss the family, but that's the way it goes. Cheers. Hey all, day 2 in Brisbane. Be able to go home today by the finalisation of our property negotiation yesterday. Today I've got 2 objectives I'm trying to achieve. Specifically, I want to find a good development site for myself, just to do a few house land packages. So I'm going to be heading south and also north. Met a developer yesterday who's given me a couple of boutique developments, sort of small size 150 house lots in infill areas. So I'm going to go and have a look at those and just check out the infrastructure, talk with the local council town planner, see what budgeted and unbudgeted infrastructure they've got going in, and try to get a feel for the area. This morning I got a call from Ines Brody from API magazine yesterday, and they've got a new editor. She's moving on after 9 years, so I'm going to go and drop in to meet the new editor this morning and say hello, find out a bit about their background. So I'll keep you posted. Cheers. Hey guys, I'm in Chermside now. I'll give you a rundown why I'm here. This morning I went out to Australian Property Investor mag, and I was a bit soft on him. I didn't interview the new editor. I felt a bit bad that I put her on the spot on the first time, but she's promised she'll give me an interview next time just to give you guys a rundown. But on behalf of all the property investors nationally, we want to say thanks to Ines for delivering the magazine, Australian Property Investor magazine, to us over the last 9 years. She's off to start a McDonald's franchise, so good on her, all the best. I'm here in Chermside. I'll just flip this camera around and keep dribbling onto you. Here in Chermside, this is a development we bought. The story is we bought it, there was 2 investors bought it in 2010 for $5 million. They got plans and permits for a 76 apartment development, retail on the bottom. Where have we got? We got Westfield down the road there. what's happening around the place here. So yeah, this development, what we bought it for $3.2 million after the previous owners had bought it for $5 million. They got 30 odd pre-sales, couldn't get funding for it, so it was one of those buys that you can't sort of pass up. Lovely house on there, maybe I can live there for a while. But yeah, so this is a good development that's happening at the moment. Pre-sales are going strong and construction will start with the track boys soon. Once again, I'm still trying to make my way north, and I'm going to go and check out, meet with another developer up there to find some stuff for myself, just to put them in my own personal portfolio. So I'm heading to Griffin, I think it is now, so we'll see you soon. Hey guys, as a property investor, probably one of the most common questions I get asked is, so what do you actually do? And I'm going to give you a rundown of what I do as an investor and how I continually deliver good investments to my portfolio. In each of the capital cities, I have to understand supply and demand. How I do that is I go out, so at the moment, today I'm looking at the northern corridor in Brisbane. I'm matching the supply and demand of this corridor with the southern corridor of Brisbane. I'm also doing that across the other capital cities. So for example, Melbourne, across the west, compare that with the west, obviously got a huge oversupply, the northern corridor, the eastern corridor, and I do that across the other capital cities as well with myself and also the research team. So if we're looking at the northern corridor of Brisbane today, what I'm trying to determine is the amount of available, affordable housing that's product being brought to the market or supply coming onto the market over the current months. Now, the major property developers, if you walk into their sales office, they're not going to give you a rundown. Some, even like stockies, don't even hand a stock list to you. They will keep it pretty close to their chest. But what we need to do is understand the titled stock and how long it takes to bring stock to market, and the amount of title stock on the market at any point in time, matching that against the population growth in a certain area, and then matching that with the other capital city corridors. So if I think about the northern corridor at the moment, we've got, of Brisbane, we've got North Lakes, obviously stockies, they've got Freshwater next door. Next to that, we've got Trask's got a development, Pine River, which is pretty much sold out. Through Griffin, there's Crest coming on at Mango Hill. You've got Pine River, which is a Fairmont project. Amar's got a couple of hundred lots coming through there. Over at Dacabin, you've got Villa Boys have got that's going on. Elmer, the Elmer Park Zoo, Trask have got that one going as well. So it's a matter of understanding all the developments, understanding how many lots are coming through, and once again, what title stock they've got currently, and looking at on each quarter going forward, what sort of titled stock's going to come onto the market. Once again, match up with population growth and keep an eye on the sales rate to see how things are going. And if developers are giving huge amount of rebates, that means they've got too much stock on the market, so it could be an area to stay away from. But what I'm doing here right now is I'm also looking at the infrastructure going to any area. I need to talk to town planners. The town planners give me an idea of the infrastructure going into any area. Both the budgeted and the unbudgeted infrastructure is the one I'm always conscious of understanding. Budgeted infrastructure, it's just a matter of seeing whether the budget remains, whether it's on track to deliver that infrastructure. So obviously the rail link going through this northern corridor. So I'm going to go and talk to the town planners and just we'll see if I can, obviously can't take the video camera in there, but I'll talk to the town planner and see if I can just dig up any dirt on what's going on with unbudgeted infrastructure, and match that against obviously what sort of influx of population it's going to bring to the area, or what value add it's going to bring to the area. So in essence, that is what I do as an investor. That's how I go about doing my business day to day. So let's go and dig around and see what we can find. Cheers, guys. Alright guys, met with one of the town planners, which is very handy. Got a bit of insight into the current budgeting and what they're doing there as far as infrastructure going in. Most of the budgeting is well and truly on track. There's no major change to infrastructure budgeting that's going on through this northern region. Town planners, if you think about the town planners and what their life revolves around, town planners have got a very important position within any council, so delivering obviously the community. Saying that, they get knocked around a bit, so if you're nice to town planners, they do give you a lot of valuable information. So think of a life of a town planner. They get belted around by developers saying, why aren't you putting my planning application through faster? They get belted around for residents saying, why are you putting all these development applications through so fast? and the council is belting them around as well. So it's not the nicest life that they must lead. So when you're actually nice to them and go in there and have a chat and talk about what they're trying to deliver, they're actually pretty informative of what information they give you. What I was able to get a bit of insight into what might happen over the next 5 years through this northern region is some canalways that might go through in one of the areas that looks pretty good, and they're going to put some boutique, talking about putting some boutique restaurants and cafes along those waterways. So once again, really good infrastructure is going in that'll enhance the area that I'm looking at. So guys, make sure you get out to all the councils, talk to the town planners, find out what's going on in the areas and match that against the available stock in the area, against the population growth. Once you do that in every area, in every capital city in Australia, you're going to know to pinpoint the best area in any capital city at any point in time and find the ones that are good to invest. Yeah. What suburb is this, mate? Rumba Downs? Kalanga. So this is the new station getting built through here. Yeah. New infrastructure. So up around Mango Hill, that site office there is the site office for the new rail link going through. This through here is Coles Shopping Centre, retail complex. Just over the hill there we've got Westfield, so some really solid infrastructure going through this area. This is a development I'm pretty keen on at the moment. I'll show you whose it is, but just not to be biased. But there's 110 lots through here. Hills views, got water views over that side, there's a park down the bottom. We're talking 2 minutes to Westfield. So I've bought the site office, so I've got a little settlement on that. So there's lot 106 and also bought lot 96, I think my brother-in-law's buying that. So yeah, good little start, tuck a couple away from this one, it's good. Hey guys, Brisbane Airport now, just on the way home. Been a pretty good trip, to be honest. Not normally like this one. We managed to secure the property deal in much shorter time than we thought possible. Also picked up a couple of house land packages for myself to chuck in the kids' portfolio, so I can't complain there. Normally it's a lot of research and not much outcome, so it's been a pretty eventful 48 hours, or as you can say, day in the life of a property investor. So hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea of what I do. So there you go. Cheers guys. Hope you enjoyed.